Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now this is gonna be a quick one, y'all. This is funny. It's funny. It's kind of hilarious. Check it out now. I remember I told you guys about Face of Boxing. You know, never really liked Face of Boxing because it's just the fighters that have this fan base who don't never want them to fight any hard fights, right? Any challenges, then if they get a challenge or somebody that's, you know, kind of dangerous, like we really want in sport, then it's all the reason why they shouldn't fight them, and hey, they don't have to, and they don't deserve it, and this and all, just all that stuff. Other than fans that just normally, well, hey, look, man, he's good, my dude's good, let's fight. And Face of Boxing means the most popular. That's what it meant. So I didn't, I don't really report on Face of Boxing too much. Because, like, whatever, man, hey, whatever, y'all ain't trying to fight, I ain't got time for that, And, I was wondering, because boxing is like that. So something has happened today that's hilarious. And I'm going to tell you who we got to thank, right? Two people. One is Turki Al-Ashi. I told you the Face of Boxing not going to like that because Turki Al-Ashi is going, when somebody don't want to take a fight and he's paying them all the money, what does he do? He's taking that, I got lowballed out of the game because you ain't going to get lowballed with Turki Al-Ashi, right? So that's out of the game. And he's taking that side of the street. I can't fight him because they're another promotion company. Taking that excuse out. So the Face of Boxings who were able to hide behind stuff like that ain't going to like him. And start getting these imaginary beefs with Turki Al-Ashi. And all of them do is all of them have an issue with him at some point or another, right? So Canelo had an issue with him, right? Face of Boxing. And Gervonta Davis had an issue with him, right? Now, Teofimo Lopez ain't no Face of Boxing, but he think he is, right? And he had some issues with him too. But anyway, let me just show you the Faces of Boxing. The other guy who's exposing it, and it's hilarious, and that's Jake Paul. The novice guy just started boxing 4 or 5 years ago. YouTuber turned boxer, but he seems to take it a little bit seriously. But, moving up. Fighting people that really weren't boxers no more, the Mike Tysons of the world. But come on, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. should have looked better than that against him. He beat him, dominated him. So, he's been calling out Faces of Boxing. So now, today, Gervonta the Black Canelo Davis is what we call him here. That's why I don't report on him too much, because it's like, okay, whatever, Gervonta, like, handle your business. But I done told you guys before what I feel about it. Gervonta is good and all of that. But at some point, if you're going to be in a division and somebody else is in your division undisputed, and they're calling you the Face of Boxing, but somebody in your division was undisputed with Devin Haney, and you ain't at least going that direction, I ain't got time for that. Like, cool, whatever, like the guy, whatever, but he's obviously not trying for legacy or nothing. Somebody else in your division is undisputed. And the other dude for years was Lomachenko, people was calling him the best they ever seen, and you ain't even trying to go over there. Later when Lomachenko was on his way out, whatever. So I'm like, okay, Gervonta Davis not really trying to do that. So, his last fight with Lamont Roach, you're supposed to be wanting to get that back. Not really. So Gervonta Davis is going to fight sometime in November. Jake Paul. Now, and they think there's going to be a big fight. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is a popularity contest, and it's not really have to do much with sport. I'd be surprised if people are sitting down, like I'm talking about, where you're waiting for the fight. It's a difference. Like, man, y'all, we got to invite everybody over. We all coming to watch Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul. Now, if it's a movie on and the movie ain't good, and you just turn over to the other station and he happens to be on, okay, whatever. But I ain't planning my next 2 days and, let's say everybody get together to watch Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul with all this other sport going on in the world and other real sport, real boxing matches and stuff. But, maybe some other people, they popular. Let's see. They're going to be probably on Netflix, and people gonna probably watch it. But it's more of a WWE showcase, whatever, I don't know. But like I said, Gervonta Davis is retiring after this because he's not gonna do nothing after this. He ain't really into it. Now I don't have my book here, but congratulations that his domestic violence issues have gotten solved. Congratulations on that. You guys know I wrote a book about domestic violence called Slapped. Go on Amazon, Doma, Slapped. It's written pretty hard and vulgar, but we slap. And what do you do when somebody's unconscious? You slap them, wake them up, or put water on them. So that book is really to jolt you into understanding we ain't need no damn domestic violence and why we do it and this and that, whatever. But I'm happy that he's able to that situation's got solved with him and his baby mama. Great. But in terms of boxing, the dude ain't trying to box no more, man. Let's just go on, it's too many people. Shakur Stevenson's right there. Devin Haney was undisputed, was right there. You're not trying to fight them and arguing with people and making up, stuff, whatever. But Jake Paul, right? And everybody don't be complaining that Gervonta Davis is fighting Jake Paul. Because at the end of the day, Canelo he was going to fight him too, and to Turkey She talked him out of it. Canelo was going to fight him too, and that was about a year ago, 34-year-old Canelo. Anthony Joshua was damn near going to fight him too. Heavyweight, Anthony Joshua. Because, see, Anthony Joshua was between the rock and a hard place too. Because he can't beat nobody in the top 10 no more neither. So Jake Paul was just, make it look like, well, Jake Paul called me out. Anthony Joshua was going to do that too. Because he ain't trying to, who he going to fight? Anthony Joshua. Who do we really think Anthony Joshua about to beat? Right? That's why I would say Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Two fighters we don't know who they can beat. They should fight each other. But okay, that ain't happening either. So whatever. So, so the Jake Paul is who everybody, all the face of boxings, Jake Paul's calling him out. Because the face of boxing is fake of boxing. Right? That means he ain't think neither one of them is that awesome that he can't get in the ring with. Neither one of them. And we calling them face of boxing and I told you, face of boxing never had nothing to do with the best. It's just the one that's we're popular, right? Because Jake Paul ain't gonna call out no damn Terrence Crawford. He ain't gonna call out no David Benavidez, who's right under his weight division. He ain't gonna call out a Apataya, who's directly in his weight division. He ain't gonna mess with none of that. These faces of boxing who people were popular, but they're beatable. Let me go get them. The smallest one, Gervonta Davis, the middle-sized one, Canelo Alvarez, and the big galoop in Anthony Joshua. I'll fight any one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And Deontay Wilder, we roll with him, but he'll fight him too. Even though he wasn't the face of boxing. But it's just to put it in there, because he did say he'll fight him too, at least. I gotta be real. All right, so let's see if he's gonna really do it. But Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul, so that's really a retirement. And listen, like I say, don't try to hate on it, all you other fans of other people. Let the brother go on and get his money, whatever, get his money and get on up out of here. Because I remember when Floyd Mayweather was about to fight Conor McGregor and they was talking about you messing up the sport. Man, I can't believe you messing up the sport. Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum. Man, that's a travesty. Why are you messing up the sport? And both of those hypocrites were trying to get Canelo Alvarez. And look how long ago that was. A young Canelo Alvarez was trying to let him fight, sell him to fight Conor McGregor back then. Oscar De La Hoya, way back then. And Bob Arum talking all that smack about Floyd Mayweather about to fight Conor McGregor and was trying to get Manny Pacquiao to fight Conor McGregor. The same time that you out in the press dogging Floyd Mayweather because he about to get the money, right? But y'all offering y'all best fighters, Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez. So in this case, Gervonta Davis retired anyway because he ain't going to fight Lamont Roach. So if he ain't going to fight Lamont Roach, he ain't fighting Shakur Stevenson. And Devin Haney just getting bigger and bigger, so he ain't fighting him either. So go and fight your boy Jake Paul and stuff so we can watch some other stuff on that night. And then go on and retire. Cool, whatever. Up out of here with you. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And we out of here. Enjoy your face of boxing.